When your cat watches you while you sleep, do you actually know what they're trying to say? At first glance, it feels a little strange, maybe even a little creepy. You wake up in the middle of the night, and there they are, sitting beside you, staring. Most people assume it's just curiosity, or that your cat wants food. But behind that quiet moment, there's something deeper that most owners miss. It's actually one of the most emotionally loaded things your cat can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most people do, you might miss one of the most important ways your cat shows trust. So let's start with what this strange nighttime ritual really means. It's not about food, it's about protection. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and seen your cat sitting nearby, just watching you? Maybe they're at the foot of the bed, maybe on the pillow beside you, or sitting silently in the doorway. Most people think the answer is obvious. They're waiting for breakfast. But here's what's actually happening. Your cat is monitoring the environment. Cats are naturally crepuscular predators. That means they're most active during dawn and night. While you're in your deepest sleep, your cat is fully alert, and in their mind, something strange is happening. You, this giant creature they depend on, are completely unconscious. To a cat, that's a vulnerable state. Think about that for a second. In the wild, animals that sleep deeply without awareness rarely survive long. So when your cat stays nearby while you sleep, they're doing something instinctive. They're standing watch. Researchers who study feline behavior often describe this as protective proximity. Your cat positions themselves where they can monitor both you and the surrounding environment. They're not guarding territory. They're guarding you. And by the way, if your cat ever sits directly on your chest or near your head at night, don't brush it off. We'll get to what that really means later, and it's something most owners wish they'd understood sooner. Your breathing is actually what they're listening to. Now here's where the science gets interesting. Have you ever noticed your cat staring at your face while you sleep? It looks intense, almost like they're studying you. Here's what's actually happening. They're listening. A 2019 study from the University of Lincoln on animal cognition found that cats are highly sensitive to subtle changes in human breathing patterns and body rhythms. Your breathing tells them everything. Slow breathing means you're safe. Irregular breathing means something changed. Cats rely on rhythm to understand the world, the sound of prey moving, the heartbeat of another animal, the breathing patterns of their kittens. So when your cat sits near you at night, they're not just watching, they're synchronizing. Studies on domestic cats reveal that cats living closely with humans often adapt their alertness cycles to match the sleep patterns of their owners. In other words, your cat is literally adjusting their natural instincts around you. Think about that for a second. An animal that evolved to be independent, territorial, and cautious is modifying its behavior around your breathing. And here's what most people don't realize. That only happens when a cat feels deeply secure with someone, because your cat isn't checking if you're alive. They're checking if you're okay. They're quietly marking you as their safe place. Now let's talk about something almost invisible. Have you ever noticed your cat gently brushing their face against you during the night, or pressing their head into your arm before settling down? Most people assume it's affection, but here's what's actually happening. They're marking you. Cats have scent glands along their cheeks, forehead, and chin. When they rub against you, they're leaving behind pheromones, chemical signals only other cats can detect. Researchers who study feline communication call this social scent marking. And the message isn't territorial dominance, it's family identity. Your cat is blending your scent with theirs, creating what behavioral scientists describe as a shared scent profile. In simple terms, they're making you smell like them. Think about that for a second. In the wild, cats that share scent belong to the same social group. It's how mothers recognize kittens. It's how bonded cats recognize each other. So when your cat marks you while you sleep, they're doing something incredibly intimate. They're quietly saying, "You belong to me, and I belong to you." And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more cat lovers who actually want to understand what their cat is really saying. This behavior actually comes from kittenhood. Here's where it gets even more powerful. Because this nighttime watching behavior didn't start with you. It started when your cat was a kitten. In feral cat colonies, kittens sleep while their mother stays alert nearby. She watches the environment, listens for danger, monitors movement. Behavioral scientists studying feral cats have documented this protective watch pattern repeatedly. The mother cat rests, but never fully relaxes. Her attention is always on the sleeping kittens. Now here's the fascinating part. Domestic cats often reverse that dynamic with humans. Instead of the mother watching the kitten, your cat watches you. Think about that for a second. Your cat has taken an ancient survival instinct meant for protecting vulnerable young and redirected it toward their human. And what makes this even more meaningful is that cats only express this behavior around individuals they trust deeply. To your cat, you aren't just a food provider. You're part of their social unit, their colony, their family. And when the house goes quiet at night, your cat slips back into that ancient role: watcher, protector, guardian of the sleeping group. They don't do this with just anyone. Now here's something that surprises most people. Cats don't watch everyone sleep. Have you ever noticed that your cat might ignore other people in the house at night, but stay close to you? That's not random. Cats are incredibly selective with their trust. A 2021 behavioral study from Oregon State University found that cats form attachment bonds with specific humans similar to the bonds infants form with caregivers. But those bonds aren't evenly distributed. Your cat might tolerate other people, they might even like them, but nighttime vigilance? That's reserved for the person they feel most connected to. Here's what's actually happening. Your cat has chosen you as their primary social partner. And when you sleep, when you're completely defenseless in their eyes, they stay nearby. Think about that for a second. Your cat could sleep anywhere in the house, warm spots, quiet corners, hidden spaces, but they choose the place where you are. That decision isn't random, it's deliberate, and it tells you something important about how your cat sees you. Not as a roommate, not as a caretaker, but as someone they feel responsible for. The moment most people misunderstand. Remember earlier when I mentioned cats sitting on your chest or near your head while you sleep? This is what I was talking about. Most owners assume it's just comfort or warmth, but here's what's actually happening. Your cat is placing themselves where they can feel your breathing and heartbeat most clearly. Researchers studying feline bonding behavior have observed that cats often choose sleep positions where they can detect subtle body signals from trusted companions. Chest, neck, shoulder. These spots give them the clearest information. Your breathing rhythm, your heart rate, your movement. Think about that for a second. Your cat isn't just sleeping next to you. They're monitoring the life signals of someone they care about. And here's the part most people never realize. Cats are naturally cautious animals. In the wild, sleeping deeply near another creature is risky. It means lowering your guard. It means trusting the other animal completely. So when your cat curls up near your head or chest while you sleep, they're doing something that goes against their survival instincts. They're allowing themselves to be vulnerable, right next to you. That's not habit. That's trust. When this nighttime habit suddenly stops. Now there's one last thing you should know, because this behavior is meaningful precisely because it can disappear. If your cat suddenly stops sleeping near you, stops watching you at night, or begins isolating themselves, don't ignore it. Cats often change their nighttime habits when something feels wrong. Sometimes it's stress, sometimes it's discomfort, and sometimes it's illness. Veterinary behaviorists often point out that cats instinctively hide weakness by withdrawing from social proximity. So if a cat that once stayed close suddenly keeps their distance, it's worth paying attention, not with panic, but with awareness. Because the small rituals cats build around the people they trust rarely change without a reason. So when your cat sits quietly beside you while you sleep, watching, listening, sometimes gently touching your face or chest, do you actually know what they're trying to say? It's easy to think it's curiosity, or hunger, or just a strange cat habit. But behind that silent nighttime moment is something much deeper. Your cat is monitoring you, protecting you, sharing scent with you, synchronizing with your breathing, and choosing to be vulnerable beside you. That's not just a quirky behavior, that's trust, that's connection, and that quiet little ritual your cat performs every night. It was never small to them, and it shouldn't be small to you either.